Good morning, Mike the MC, bringing another self-care video. Today I'm going to share with you number 142 of the Catechism of man's acceptance of the invitation with God. The acceptance to be a part of a journey that'll transform not just that man, but that relationship between the man and God, and how it'll benefit other people along the way. And I think this will be a beautiful one to discuss further, because we were talking about the Bible. Now we're going into the individual perspective, and I think this will be very cool to discuss. So let me share with you further 142 of the Catechism, and let's see how this takes us today. So 142 is part of chapter 3 from the first chapter, part 1, of man's response to God. Here we go. By his revelation, the invisible God, from the fullness of his love, addresses man as his friends, and moves them among them in order to invite and receive them into his own company. The adequate response to this invitation is faith. So our Lord moves among us each day. So right, you could think of him behind me, in front of me, above, below, speaking through me. Our Lord is so active because he literally created everything, which is under his control, his love, his beauty. But he allows us to have that free will because you and I were made in his image. And that's the thing. It's our response to accept that invitation of participation with him through faith. And faith, I accept that I will share with you a video that is awesome. You can respond to it. You can share in the comments, whether you like, dislike it, whether you like my audio, whether you like the way I dress, whether you like I do these videos in the morning, etc. You have the ability, the free will to respond. The faith that you will perform when you have to perform in different situations. And to me, that's a beautiful example for everybody throughout the world, acting on faith. Because if you realize, okay, if I can't get to that store right away to get the carton of cheese, the carton of eggs, I need to go to a different store because I know with free will, I need to get there in time so that way I can prepare this meal for my guests that are coming maybe an hour earlier because they just gave me a call, or I realized they called me and left a message, and I got to step up my game and get cooking real fast and grab the ingredients. The idea here is free will allows us to respond to different situations. And I think everyone can act on that faith in different ways, but that's just for everybody throughout the world as far as different perspectives of life. And considering, okay, maybe someone across the world has a different faith and religion, but if they act on something for the sake of some idea, that is faith. Now the idea here is, was it used for a selfish reason, for good? And you go into parts of morality at that point as far as, okay, maybe they were acting out of evil or love, and they were working so possibly with God in that moment. Because can you work with God, but you don't realize it? You don't realize that you worked with him in those moments. Maybe it was at a workday example, and you realized, oh wow, I had to really set up this invitation for a group coming over to the agency today for a meeting, a staff meeting. And it worked out well for everybody because I was able to coordinate through the email, through the phones, everyone to get here on time, and it was a success. Do you give that success, that gratitude, that thanks to God? Maybe not directly, but sometimes we just say, hey, that was awesome. I'm glad this all worked out. Indirectly, that does thank God, because if you think about it, even if you say it out loud, your gratitude, he's in front of you or behind you, or he's in your idea, your mind, the idea that, okay, you can have a thought and he knows everything. So of course he's going to read your thought, and you're like, okay, I got to be careful now what I think, because I know there's a creator that made you and I, knowing what I'm going to say right now in this moment to you through the video, what I'm going to think about and just say right here in the moment. He knows what I'm going to say, how I'm going to tone my voice, etc., how fast I'll speak, how I'll look away left and right, how I'm going to make sure I'm safe when I give these videos in the mornings. And he just knows all that, those ideas. They may be subtle, but those are the subtle ways of knowing this connection with God in a profound way. So look at how now, as we dive further into our response to God in faith, Lord, thank you for all these moments in life, allowing me to sit here in the car safely, allowing me to get here to work safe on time, to finish my studies, to work with other people, to be patient, to listen, to work with others, so that way I was able to respond and provide a solution, or listen to them to hear about a new perspective. And that was a solution for me, because I needed to hear that. And so just many ways that we interact with our Lord, through people, through nature, through life. And so maybe I'll ask you to share in the comments, how do you like to interact in this world? Are you outside person, inside person, bookworm? Maybe you like to be a techie, maybe you like to work outside, projects. What are your strengths and your characteristics, and how do you see God in those moments through the skills or those things that you're working towards? And how do you hope to share in those relationships, if you're willing to share in the comments, for others to recognize, hey, we can thank God in all those moments. And we can thank Him for all the gifts and blessings, and just be grateful for the opportunity to be present each day and give thanks. Things to consider. But I hope this video finds you well today. I hope you all are doing great. Don't give up. Always remember, you and I can participate in reality, and inadvertently, indirectly, we can thank God in those moments first, and then recognize with our faith that we do accept that invitation. And the invitation invites us to bring ourselves first. We respond, and then we go out and save the world. You got this. This is beautiful. All right, everyone. Hope this video finds you well. Take care. Have a good one.